welcome back to the Juice from the Box video. In today's video, we are talking about gaming related stuff, but more so if you are a streamer that is looking for emotes and a streamer that's looking for emotes from the website Fiverr. Look, Fiverr is not an old website. It is like the go-to place for you to find somebody to make you some emotes or banners or whatever you need for your live stream. And you know what? It's pretty cheap and you can find some good stuff sometimes. Well, I paid 4 different emote artists on Fiverr to make me 5 to 6 emotes, and the prices ranged anywhere from $30 to $170. And man, do I have to tell you the stories that I had with these people, because I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty interesting. The first thing I want to point out about my Fiverr experience is 3 out of 4 of these artists hit me with delays. Personally, when it comes to things like artwork or sculpting or just anything that is very craftsmanship related, I can be pretty lenient on things because I want things to look good, and sometimes you need to take some time to make those things look good, but leniency only goes so far to when you start hitting up against that wall that is called unprofessionalism. Okay, let's go ahead and start with artist number 1. FYI, if you've never dealt with Fiverr before, you usually have to message an artist before you make a purchase. So yeah, that's what I did here. For every one of these artists, I sent them like a PDF with what I was looking for with small descriptions and photos, just so they kind of got an idea of what I wanted. But I still like when an artist has some creative freedom to kind of, you know, do their thing. Luckily, all of these artists I dealt with did have unlimited revisions, so I could make all of the changes I wanted to. Going back to artist number 1, I sent them the message, I gave them the PDF, and they said, I can totally do this. I can have it ready in 14 to 15 days because of my current workload. A 2-week turnaround time didn't really bother me because I had a bunch of other artists that I was working with that also said they needed about 2 weeks, so I was totally fine with this. I was like, I'll get a whole bunch of emotes all at once. Well, artist number 1 was the first one to hit me with the delay, but it wasn't too bad. They did message me a day or 2 before the actual deadline, and they were like, hey, I apologize, but I'm going to need a couple of extra days because I've been going through some stuff. This isn't a knock on the website, but going through stuff or sickness was very common with a lot of these people. So they do ask for the delay. I give them the okay that it's fine, but they do actually send over a sketch of what my emote is supposed to look like of myself, and they're like, hey, is this look good or do you want any changes? So even with that moment, they started kind of working with me, even though I knew that it was going to still take a couple of days. So artist number 1 was really good with communication. Every time I was like, hey, I don't like this or I don't like that, they changed it, they changed the colors, they did things a little thicker or thinner or whatever, any request that I asked, they actually did it, and bada bing, bada boom, things were done on those 2 extra days that they requested for. So with artist number 1, these were the emotes I got. I was pleasantly satisfied with them. Like I said, they made all the changes that I requested, and I was just, you know, I was good. I liked them. Best thing was these 6 emotes right here only cost me $50, and then that was their base price, and then I gave them a tip after that. But yeah, $50, that is not a bad deal. Next up is artist number 2, and artist number 2 was by far my best experience with Fiverr. The reason why I'm so enthusiastic about that is because the price, the turnaround time, and what I got, all of it combined was perfect in my opinion, and I couldn't ask for anything better. I messaged this person what I wanted. They messaged me back within like an hour or 2, and they were like, hey, I can totally do that. Feel free to make an order. Wash and repeat, just like I did with artist number 1, sent them a PDF. They replied, sent in my order, bada bing, bada boom. The interesting thing about this particular person was they said the turnaround time was 3 days. Now, me personally, I thought 3 days was pretty crazy for a turnaround time when I have 3 other artists that are saying they need 14 to 15 days to do 6 emotes. So I was a little suspicious of what I would actually get. Well, the crazy thing was I didn't have to wait freaking 3 days to get my emotes. I got them in like a day and a half or 2 days, and this is what I got. Now, there were a few little changes that I had to do, but for the most part, there wasn't a lot that I really needed to change on these emotes, and I thought they were pretty fantastic. Now, I should clarify that these emotes were technically used for my sub badges, but, you know, sub badges and emotes are pretty much the same thing. They're just, you know, viewed in different pixel ratios. Either way, this artist was early, and you know, they beat my expectations because I didn't think I was going to get a lot for a 3-day turnaround and $30. I don't even know if you could find a better price on Fiverr, to be honest. To get 6 freaking emotes / sub badges for $30, obviously I gave this person a tip too because they were early, communication was solid, and like I said, they they bested what I thought I was gonna get for that money. Now, I know the skeptics out there might be like, oh, those are just sub badges. Sub badges are really easy to make. Okay, I understand the mentality because a lot of people think it's just copying one and then adding a little bit of stuff to change it for the sub badges. But I did send this artist to a friend of mine who had separate emotes of different things made. And yeah, it was the same turnaround time. So yeah, I wouldn't, it doesn't matter. So artist number 2 was by far my best experience on Fiverr. The cheapest, the quickest, just 5 stars. What's going on, everybody? So I'm interrupting your regular scheduled programming to ask you, do you have Discord? Because if you do, you should come join my free Discord server where it is probably the best place to talk to me on the daily because, well, I'm always in there just chatting with people, but it is also the best place to give me suggestions for the reaction channel or games I should be playing on the gaming channel or the Twitch stream. So if you do got a Discord account, go check out the link in the description down below and come hang out in our free server. I hope to see you there. And now, back to your regular scheduled programming. Duh, I should have mentioned this at the start of the video, but all of these emote artists were rated like 4.8 stars out of 5. Moving on to artist number 3, which was actually my favorite artist. Like, the art style that this person had was my favorite, and it was somebody that I was willing to, like, I was just like, I want stuff from this person, and so I wasn't worried about the time frame of the 14 or 15 days, but I will say this person took me on a journey. Remember when I talked about delays earlier in the video? Well, this person hit me with like 4 of them. And the first one was, I believe, the day of the deadline. They were like, hey, I'm so sorry. I've been sick. Reoccurring. So they asked me for an extension about a couple of days, and they did give me a sketch, though, of one of the emotes, and I thought that was kind of cool. So I was like, all right, I already like the style. It looks good. Unfortunately, I wanted to change, like, the facial expression, so they were like, yeah, that'll just take me an extra day or so. And I was like, okay, fine, it's gonna be all done in this first extension. Well, it wasn't. I got maybe 2 of the emotes in the next 2 or 3 days of this extension, and I was like, what's happening? They responded, they were like, hey, I'm sorry that I'm taking so long. I'm redoing the one you wanted me to, and your extra emote, because I forgot that I actually paid for 7 emotes with this person. They said they had never designed something like my last emote, which was the mustache ride. They said they never designed anything like that, so they didn't know how to make it happen. At this point, I was still pretty understanding, and I was like, all right, maybe it just doesn't fit with their style, or I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but I was like, cool, yeah, you can have another extension. Again, I was still waiting for other emotes, so I didn't mind getting a bunch of emotes at one time. A couple days passed, and then I get hit with the 3rd extension. And at this point, I'm like, bro. But this particular person knew they were taking too long, and they were like, look, I am so sorry that this is taking me so long. It's just I haven't been feeling the best, but I'm trying to get this done for you. I will throw in a free emote for the delay. I don't know about you guys, but when you're gonna tell me you're gonna throw in something for free, you get a little bit, you know, you get on my good side, okay? So this person, they were gonna give me a whole nother emote for free, and I could send them an idea, and they would have it done. But of course, they wanted another extension, which it was actually, it might have just been 3 extensions instead of 4 extensions. It was like another 2 weeks on top of the deadline thing. So it just, yeah, I think the final extension was actually like 4 or 5 days instead of like 2 more extensions, is which is what I was thinking about. So yeah, 3 extensions in total at least, but they threw in a free emote. Either way, the person had good communication where they were telling me what was going on. They were giving me progress updates with sketches and colors and being like, do you like this? Do you not like this? Those little things kept me on the good side to where I was like, you know what? I don't mind the extension because they're giving me progress updates and I like what I'm seeing. So at the end of the day, these were the 8 emotes I ended up getting from this artist. I love this style. I've shown them in my stream. People love these as well. And I'm just absolutely I love it. I love the style. But I do have to say these were my most expensive emotes, and it came in about $170. I did not tip this person just because it was delayed 2 weeks. So yeah, artist number 3 was my favorite artist from the start. They did not disappoint with the style. Communication was good, but the delays were pretty lengthy. But I do admire that they were willing to throw in another free emote to kind of just make up for that time. So I think that was pretty cool. Now let's talk about artist number 4, the artist from hell. I'm gonna go ahead and do this a little bit different from the last 3 artists, and I'm gonna show you their emotes right now. These are their emotes. Oh, you think you're not seeing anything? Oh, you're not, because they didn't make any. This artist sucked. They were rated a 4.9 out of 5 stars on Fiverr. They had glaring 5-star reviews, but man, if you read those 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 star reviews, you would realize why this person sucks. Well, even the 5-star reviews said some things, but they were like, I still like them. Anyways, artist number 4, I do the same thing I do with the other ones. I send them a freaking PDF with everything I want. This person was actually gonna do 6 emotes and a sub badge because that was their premium package. And I sent all of that stuff. They were like, awesome friend, I could do this for you in 14 to 15 days. I'm down. Okay, whatever. I should point out at this point, I've already had all of these other delays with these other artists when I'm working with this one. So my fuse is a little shorter with the Fiverr artists at this point. But since I've actually had a lot of delays with other artists, I'm like, I'm gonna be a little bit more proactive with this artist. And I messaged them a couple times throughout that, 14-day period to kind of just be like, hey, how's it going? I didn't hear from this artist until the day of the deadline, and they automatically asked for a request. They basically demanded a request because they were like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna make this deadline, so I need 2 or 3 days. They didn't ask me for an extension, they were telling me they were getting an extension. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I messaged them back. I was like, all right, are you telling me that all 6 emotes plus the sub badge will be done in the next 3 days? I believe it was like February 2nd. I was like, you're telling me they will be done by February 2nd. They actually respond this time and they were like, yes, all designs will be done by the 2nd. So I'm like, okay, cool, they're gonna be done in 3 days, whatever. 3 days roll around, I'm waiting, playing some video games, looking at my clock, and I'm like, oh, it just hit midnight, and it's February 3rd. I haven't got any emotes. I wonder where they're at. So I proceed to get on Fiverr and write this person a message and be like, hey, it is now February 3rd. Where are those freaking emotes? I get a response maybe 17 hours later or something like that saying like, I'm sorry, I know this sounds weird, but I actually burnt my hand and I'm not able to draw as well as I normally do, but I've been working on your stuff and it'll get done soon. Oh, if I didn't mention the reason why they weren't done the first time this person gave me a deadline is because they were sick too, that running thing. So at this point, I'm just kind of frustrated and mad. They told me they would be done at the 2nd, which was 3 extra days on top of their 14 to 15 day deadline. And now they're saying that they were injured after being sick and they freaking need more time, but don't tell me how long they need. So I message them back, asking them how long is it going to take? Can I see some progress? Because again, they said they were working on my stuff 4 days ago. They said everything would be done. So I'm like, can you just send me some sketches, some pictures, just something that you've actually worked on the emotes? Fucking tumbleweeds. I hear nothing for 24 hours. So I message them again. I'm like, hey, it's been 24 hours and you have not responded to me asking for just some kind of progress on the project. Nothing for another 24 hours. At this point, I go and I look at all the reviews. All the 1 stars are just canceled. A lot of the 2 stars are canceled because didn't get project. 3 to 5 stars, a lot of the reviews say he was super late, over a month late, 3 weeks late, whatever. And I was just like, holy crap, this person's not gonna give me these emotes anytime soon. So I try to look into what Fiverr, what options Fiverr has to get an artist to actually do something. Unfortunately, the Solution Center is kind of garbage because what happens is you can make a request to get progress on a project, but it goes straight to the artist, and the artist is the one that can approve that or not. And if they don't respond, it just auto withdraws the request. So all the artist has to do is not respond and nothing will happen to them. So 48 hours go by and I don't even get to hear anything. It gets auto withdrawn. So I messaged them back saying, look, if I don't see any progress in the next 24 hours, I am going to get a refund on this stuff. I don't even wait 24 hours. I wait like maybe 14 or 15 and I freaking just withdraw my shit because I'm already tired of it. I already started talking to another artist to get these emotes rolling and I was like, fuck this guy. He hasn't responded. Nothing has come about this. I've already given them like 20 plus days to work on this project, and they're not even having the decency to show me that they've done some sketches. So artist number 4 sucked a big ol' wiener, okay? And you wanna know how much that person was charging? $113 is the refund I got, which is what I paid originally, and some change. But yeah, $113. This person was rated at a 4.9, if I'm not mistaken, on Fiverr. And they had the worst fucking communication I've ever dealt with in probably any project ever. Now look, you probably noticed that I didn't say any of the creators' names in here because I don't want to go ahead and just like throw shade or anything like that. But if you know this character and you know the name of that character, well, that name of that character may or may not be in the username of that Fiverr artist. I'm just saying. So yeah, that was my Fiverr experience. If you're curious about the other artists I talked to, I just went back to the other guy that delayed me 2 weeks. Yes, I know, why would you go back to somebody that delayed you that long? But I was so happy with those emote designs that I was like, you know what, I'll wait this other time and hopefully they remember me and they're like, okay, I screwed this guy over once. Let me be on time this time. And also, it lets me kind of keep my emotes all the same design. Because like when you start patching and just doing different styles, it kind of look kind of tacky over time. That's just me personally, but I wanted to kind of keep them in the same artist family. So yeah, I just went back to that artist because the price range was somewhat similar. And I was like, you know what, I'll just get my refund and apply it to this guy and we'll be totally fine. So yeah, that was my Fiverr experience with paying 4 different artists to make me emotes. My biggest advice is if you can talk to somebody that's used somebody in the past, definitely do that. See the quality of work. Definitely look at reviews. If you see somebody with a 4.9, it does not mean that they are the greatest person on freaking planet Earth. Look at the reviews. A lot of people, shut up phone, a lot of people will say delay, delay, delay. If you see a lot of that, maybe avoid that artist. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this style of video or just things like this, let me know in that comment section down below. Of course, if you want to check out these emotes and use them in person, come check out our Twitch stream, ladies and gentlemen. We stream every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Subs get access to those. Also bits, I believe, as well. But yeah, that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Hopefully you hit that subscribe button so you can get more content like this. But as always, I am your host, JUICEbox. Remember to wake up in the morning and ask yourself something. I'm a daily dose of juice. See you guys next time.